You wanted the best. You got the best. No, no wait, that's Kiss. Well, they do have a demon, so that's horror, right? What's up, fiends? Alucard here. We had the worst. Now let's talk the best. These are my favorite films that I watched in 2022. There will be a couple of older ones, but they were first time watches for me in 2022. So that is the criteria. So let's get into it. First up, I do have two non horror films I'd like to mention. First up, we have Licorice Pizza from 2021, written and directed by Paul Thomas Anderson, and stars Alana Haim and Cooper Hoffman. It is a romantic comedy drama about falling in love for the first time. Alana Haim is, of course, best known as the guitarist slash keyboardist for the alt pop band Haim, but she is really fantastic here, as well as Cooper Hoffman, who is the son of the late Philip Seymour Hoffman. Talent apparently does pass down because he's damn good. Alana and Cooper both knocked it out of the park, and I was rooting for them all the way. I do have a theory about this movie, though. I think this is more of a guy's rom-com. If you've seen the film, I'd love to know your thoughts. You can currently watch it on Prime or get it on physical media. All right, the other non-horror movie I want to recommend is an intense family drama called Blue Bayou, also from 2021. It's written, directed, and stars Justin Chon as a Korean American raised in the bayous of Louisiana, facing deportation due to a bunch of hateful policemen. Why are more people not talking about this movie? It's so good. Justin Chon's performance is truly one of the greatest I've ever seen. I'm now a forever fan of this guy. Um, I don't want to say too much more, but it's absolutely amazing. Check this movie out. It is streaming on HBO Max, and it does have a physical release as well. All right, so now we're going to get into my top 10 horror films of 2022. Well, mostly. There is one older one. So I've done full reviews on many of these, and if I did, I will leave a link in the description box below so you can check them out. Coming in at number 10, Night of the Tommyknockers from Mahal Empire Productions. Directed by Michael Sue and stars Richard Grieco, Robert Lasardo, Tom Sizemore, and Angela Cole. This is a horror action western about a gang of bank robbers getting holed up in a bar with killer creatures roaming around outside. This one really caught me by surprise. I knew it was going to be good, but I didn't expect it to be one of my favorites of the year. Silly me, I guess. And to me, Angela Cole really steals the show here with her performance as Betsy. Look out for her. I'm expecting big things. This one is currently available on VOD and physical media. All right, coming in at number 9. This is the old movie from 2017. It's called Devil's Gate from IFC Midnight, directed and co-written by Clay Staub, and stars Amanda Schull, Milo Ventimiglia, and Sean Ashmore. This was actually a Dollar Tree find. So you see, they do have good movies. So this is a sci-fi horror thriller about an FBI agent teaming up with the local police department to investigate a missing woman and child. I don't want to give any more away, as I don't want to ruin the movie. However, I will say the performances are stellar, especially Milo Ventimiglia as the grieving husband. Check out my review if you do want to know more. This one's currently available on AMC Plus and physical media. Coming in at number 8, we have The Exorcist with an S from Bayou Entertainment, written, directed, and starring Paul Andrich. This horror comedy is about a videographer hired to film exorcisms while a demonic plot to bring back the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse occurs. This one was another big surprise for me this year. Most of the comedic bits are not in your face, but they're there. And if you catch them, they're pretty hilarious. Currently, I don't see it streaming anywhere, but it is available on physical media. All right, coming in at number 7, we have Nothing Else from 2021, also from Bayou Entertainment, written and directed by Timothy Conrad. This is a sci-fi thriller with horror elements, and it's about two strangers trapped in a room and stuck in a time loop with no recollection of how they got there. Again, telling you more of the story will ruin the experience, so I'm not going to get into it too much. This is kind of a basic movie, but it completely works. It's two guys in a room, and that's pretty much it. But the two actors, Hassan Defer and Brian Mrakaria, I'm sure I'm butchering your names. My biggest apologies, but they're really great, and you're really with them the entire way. This one's currently streaming on Screambox, and it is available on physical media. All right, coming in at number 6, we got Orphan: First Kill, directed by William Brent Bell and stars Isabel Fuhrman and Julia Stiles. This is a prequel to the 2009 film Orphan, which I also loved. This one's about a 31-year-old woman with a rare hormonal disorder that makes her look like a 9-year-old, and she orchestrates an escape from an institution and infiltrates a wealthy American family. If you've seen the film, you know of the twist. Well, this one kind of ups that with another giant twist. The performances are all really great, and I've been a fan of Julia Stiles for years. I think she's terribly underrated. This movie's really intense and creepy, and if you're willing to go along for the ride, you're in for a hell of a treat. Check it out, streaming right now on Paramount Plus. All right, now we're hitting the top 5. These are my 5 favorite movies that I watched this year, and they're all, I believe, 2021 or 2022. So they're all new. So coming in at number 5, we have Crabs from Raven Banner Entertainment, written and directed by Pierce Berolsheimer, and stars Dylan Riley Snyder, Allie Jennings, Jessica Morris, and hilarious breakout performance from actor-musician Chase Padgett. This horror sci-fi comedy is about a horde of killer crabs invading a small town during prom night. The characters are all super likable, and Chase Padgett will have you in stitches as the foreign exchange student Radu. The effects are nice and bloody too. Currently, this movie is only available on physical media, but if you are a comedy horror fan, this one is for you. This is my favorite horror comedy of the year. All right, coming in at number 4 from Shudder, we have Christmas, Bloody Christmas, written and directed by Joe Bagos, and stars Riley Dandy, Sam Delich, Jeff Daniel Phillips, and Jonah Ray of Mystery Science Theater fame. This holiday slasher is about a robotic Santa going on a massive killing spree on Christmas Eve. It's basically Terminator Santa versus the kick-ass record store owner, played by the awesome Riley Dandy. I initially thought this was going to be comedic, especially having Jonah Ray in the cast, but nope, they play completely straight, which I believe actually kind of helped. It's a really wild premise, but you feel the threat the entire time. It's a hell of a lot of fun, and it's now going to be an annual holiday tradition for me to watch this one. It is currently streaming on Shudder. All right, coming in at number 3, Cactus Jack from Bayou Entertainment, written and directed by them Thorntons, Chris and Jason, and stars R. Michael Gull in the most terrifying performance of the past 20 years. This is a horror thriller about an amateur documentarian making a film about a recluse who hasn't left his mother's basement in 6 months. The recluse ends up being the most vile piece of human garbage that ever existed. The documentarian is captured and tortured, all while the recluse spreads his hate out into the world. A really interesting fact is that this was shot mainly on cell phones, and it looks absolutely amazing. Some wicked cinematography. from Jason Thornton. I've had the pleasure of speaking with Jason and R. Michael Gull. I will leave links to both of those interviews in the description box below as well. Please check those out and my review. It is currently available on VOD and physical media. All right, we're at the top two. And I kind of had a tough time deciding which one I like better. But this is what I'm going with. So number 2, we've got Last Night in Soho from director Edgar Wright and stars Thomasin McKenzie, Anya Taylor-Joy, Matt Smith, and Diana Rigg in her final role. In this British psychological horror, an aspiring fashion designer has vivid dreams of being in the 1960s. During her waking hours, she's disturbed by dark apparitions that resemble people from her dreams. It's a what's real, what's not real type of situation. The cinematography and editing are top notch. Especially there's a dance sequence which intercuts between different characters. It's absolutely mind-blowingly gorgeous and just done to perfection. Check this one out on HBO Max and, of course, physical media. All right, this brings me to number 1, and I think a lot of people are going to be really surprised on my number 1, because I'm sure it'll be on some people's list. It may have been on some people's list last year, but I saw it this year, so that's why it's number 1 for me this year. My number 1 is actually The Black Phone, directed and co-written by Scott Derrickson and stars Ethan Hawke, Mason Thames, and Madeline McGraw. This is a supernatural horror film about a shy boy named Finney who's abducted by a sadistic serial killer called the Grabber, and he's trapped in a soundproof basement where a disconnected phone on the wall begins to ring. On the other end are the voices of the killer's previous victims, helping Finney navigate his way out of this hell. This movie, seriously blew me away. Everything about it just works. The acting all around is fantastic. The 2 main kids are incredible. And Ethan Hawke is so creepy as the Grabber. As far as I can tell, this movie is currently only on VOD and physical media, but I highly, highly suggest checking it out if you haven't. So there you have it, my best of 2022. Have you seen any of these? What did you think of them? Are any of these on your best of list? Let me know your top 2 or 3 films in the comment section below. I hope everybody has a killer 2023, and until next time, remember to stay spooky. Peace.